Hey everyone, and welcome to a unit review of the Mythic Hero, Naga. She's here as a Mythic Hero as expected, though we kind of figured out that she would be the next Mythic Hero since they spoiled it already on the Heroes website. But nonetheless, she's here and her skills are pretty cool. This review will go over her stats, skill synergy, skill fodder, counters, builds, and should you summon. Let's begin.
By my flame!
Entering the battle is Naga, Dragon Divinity, as a flying blue dragon. I think it's very nice that they included all the other games she's in. Even though the design is from Awakening, Naga has made several appearances and has been referenced across the Fire Emblem games. Her standout stats are her speed and defense. Naga boasts a pretty good speed stat of 36 and her defense at 33, combined with a decent HP, allows her to take on a fair amount of hits. Her attack is sadly on the lower side at base 30. While she does have a 16 might breath with attack plus 3, it will affect her damage output. But it does have potential if you invest into it. Her res is kind of on the lower side, which is interesting. Like, Naga's whole set allows her to kill dragons, and you kinda need some good res to take on dragons safely. Well, you could say that Naga is giving the dragon slaying power away, so others can kill dragons for her. Maybe she doesn't need the res if that's the case. I've seen some people compare Fallen Corn to Naga, which isn't a fair comparison. Infantry and flying units do have a BST difference, so a more fair comparison is with Summer Young Tiki. Both are flying dragons, yet Tiki has more BST? The reason to this was trainee boost, which I guess makes sense, but does Naga not deserve trainee boost? They gave the Surtur of all people, so why not Naga? A literal goddess. Who knows? Honestly, I just wanted Naga to have more attack. Even one more point is fine, then you'll have an even 50 attack. I have a lot to talk about for Naga, something more skill focused than the other, so I'll talk about the skills first and then the other thing. Before I get into skill synergy, let's talk about the skills that aren't a part of it. Luna and Chill Speed are common but very good skills. With Luna, she can take on more melee units with high res or range units with really good mixed bulk. Sadly, Naga doesn't have a skill like Bolt Fighter or Special Fighter that lowers her cooldown. Luna will still be at 3 cooldown. Moonbow is a good alternative, but that depends on the situation. If Naga is lacking the attack, then Luna is much better, and with that base 30 attack, Luna might be the better choice. Chill Speed is a fairly popular skill since its introduction. Even though the free-to-play Togwell Pan has at 5 stars, chills are still very helpful to give away. And on a support unit like Naga who can use it to her offensive advantage, it gets even better. You see, Naga can get a lot of stat buffs from her skills, so being able to lower the foe speed means more doubles for herself and her allies. Now for her skill synergy. Naga has some pretty interesting skills. The whole setup is giving her allies the power to kill dragons so she can buff herself. But if you face another Naga on the foe side, then in a way, she's responsible for her own death? That's weird. Anyways, Naga has Divine Breath, a 16 might breath with attack plus 3. It's also effective against dragons, no surprise. The skill synergy is with her C skill, Divine Fang, which has a very short, simple, but effective effect. At the start of the turn, she grants effective against dragons effect to adjacent allies. This doesn't make the Falchion and other dragon effective weapons useless. Divine Fang is amazing, but somewhat inconsistent. Then again, Naga is a flying unit, so it makes it a bit easier for her to buff her allies, but there's merit to having a dragon slaying weapon without needing to be positioned right. Thanks to Naga's Divine Fang, her adjacent allies get the power to kill dragons. Her Divine Fang gives buffs to all of her stats based on the number of dragon allies and allies who have the effective against dragon effect within 2 spaces times 3, with the max of plus 9 to her stats. So if you add 9 to all of her base stats, she'll have 58 attack, 45 speed, 42 defense, and 35 res. It also has adaptive damage. This is what I was talking about with Naga being a strong support unit who can use that to her advantage. She can buff her allies so they can kill dragons, and once they've been buffed, she gets her own buffs from her breath. Of course, the only problem is that if all of her allies are dead, then she can't buff anyone, meaning she can't buff herself. Adding on to the buffs that Naga gets, she also has ARO attack speed. When she is attacking in Ether Raids, she gets X amount of attacking speed. The X is dependent on the number of the foe's defensive structures. With less defensive structures, the more buffs she gets. If you can get the max amount of bonuses, which is plus 10, and add that to her Divine Breath, Naga can get plus 19 to her attack and speed, and plus 9 to her defensive res. Remember, she has Chill Speed too. So if that plus 19 speed isn't able to help her double a certain unit, then chill speed can help with that if that foe has the highest speed. Okay, so let's talk about the other things. The description of Divine Breath states that she gets buffed from dragon allies and allies with the dragon slaying effect. And dude, that's hardcore. Giving your allies the power to kill the dragon foes as your own dragons watch in horror, then Naga gives them the power to kill their own brethren. You watch your friends do it, then you do it yourself. But you know, I guess that's how life works. Another thing as well is like, you have characters like Nito who give a Hone attack buff, you have characters like Kaden who give other characters his buffs, and then we have Naga who gives you the power to kill a dragon. Let's go! Also, if you didn't know, Falchion was made by Naga's Fang, so Divine Fang makes sense for the skill name. But I think that's pretty funny. Can you imagine it? You're on the battlefield and on one hand you have your trusty sword, and on the other there's this weird Fang from your flying dragon friend. She looks at you and says, "Do it." You take your sword and you go straight for Male Grima's head. When a mythic looking dragon lady tells you to murder a dragon in front of you, wouldn't you listen to her? These kind of things don't happen very often, you know. As for counters, Garen is a surprising counter, like you don't hear that name very often, but Garen's Breath of Blight shields him from the dragon effectiveness, so he's safe from Naga, somewhat. Green range units are pretty dangerous. Naga doesn't have the best res and she's a flying unit. And straight up, Julia with her Naga tome kills Naga herself. Also, characters who don't want to be near their allies are a problem for her. Legendary Ephraim prefers to be away from his allies, so even if he has the dragon effectiveness, he's most likely not within 2 spaces for Naga to get her own buff. Now for builds, I'll show some standard builds and 2 odd but not too odd builds that I thought of. First build, Divine Cold. This is a simple butcher set with double chills. With the new chill attack seal, it pairs wonderfully with her chill speed. Not only can she help her allies, she can help herself. They can double more, take more hits, and activate heavy or flashing blade more often. And with Naga's good defense and decent HP, she would prefer a -7 debuff on the foe's attack so she takes more hits. And for Dragon Slayers who use the blade skills, this will help her survive a bit longer. Second build, Furious Dragon. Naga wants more attack, but she also wants more speed. And what about defensive res? With Fury, Naga solves all those problems. She can safely get into Desperation and Brazen attack speed range. Brazen attack speed combined with the +9 from Divine Breath, Naga gets +16 attack and speed. Third build, Brazen Dragon. If you don't care about Naga's defense or res, then this is a good set for you. Double Brazen complements her great speed and drastically raises her attack. Double Brazen with Divine Breath's max buff gives her +23 attack and speed. Only problem is that Naga has no safe way to lower her HP, and if the foe has a Naga too, then she has to be super careful. Just because Naga gives the power to kill dragons doesn't mean she can't be killed by it too. Fourth build, Divine Impact. This set is less worried about dragons but rather melee units. I believe Sturdy Impact is wonderful on Naga because she wants the attack and would love more defense. Throw in Darting Blow Seal so now Naga can hit harder, double more, take more hits, and prevent the foe's follow up. At this point you could also run Bonfire instead of Luna. As a side note, I believe Naga is great with defensive builds, since her Divine Fang gives her more buffs. With more dragon slaying allies, a defensive build is perfect for that since they can run drives. Fifth build, Divine Link. This is a full-on support set. The setup is really easy, anyone can do this. I know a lot of people like using Smite for ether raids, so the set can be very appealing for some. Naga can give the dragon slaying effect to her allies, smite them off, and give them the attack speed link buff. Any link works, but personally I like attack speed link. With more attack and speed, her allies can ensure a double and kill with the dragon effectiveness. Sixth build, Divine Bonds. Since Naga relies on having allies with the dragon effectiveness or there are dragon nearby, then bonds will be very helpful. Naga can give the effect, use aerobatics or another teleport skill to reach her allies and get the bond buff as well as Divine Breath. Also, bonds work in enemy phase as well, so you can make Naga dual phase. Attack res bond can be swapped, but if Naga is going to face dragons, then the res will come in use. So, should you summon? Well, Naga has some amazing skill synergy set. Divine Fang's effect is very useful for people trying to deal with dragons. ARO skills are pretty new and nice. Since she is a flying unit, she provides a lot of support like guidance and more. Also, chill speed is a very nice skill to give away. On the other hand, her attack stat is unappealing, you have no need for ARO, and you already have a lot of Dragon Slayers. Thanks for watching, I hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe and leave a like. I do a bunch of Fire Emblem Heroes content and hopefully more. Follow me on Twitter at exo_ty for updates on upcoming videos. With all that, stay hydrated folks, and kill those dragons.